a lot of ways, Child's Play 2 is a step down from the original film. Unlike the first film, which was original in so many ways, this film here takes a step back in a way that I find not as successful. If you're curious, check it out if you want, but proceed with caution. Taking place 2 years after the events of the first film, Andy is now with a foster care after his mother was declared insane and put into a mental hospital. Meanwhile, Chucky, who was burned at the end of the first one, is reassembled and put back together, and he magically comes back to life. I have to say, this film here, while not awfully terrible, it is a underwhelming film in a sense. Not necessarily a bad movie here. But a lot of these characters in this movie, you really just don't care nothing about. The only character you really root for is Andy, and he's a child. All the adult actors in this film is a disappointment. Of course, Brad Dourif shines as Alfred Chucky just like he did in the first film. But you really don't care about the other characters if they live or die, because there is no backstory to them. They're bland. They're very vanilla. And I have to say, for a sequel, this movie does a decent job. Like I said, it's not outright bad, but a lack of interesting characters definitely hurts this film here. If you haven't seen this film by today, then you can check it out if you want. But don't expect a whole lot here. The story to this film is just as similar as the first movie. Chucky is stuck in a doll. He needs a boy, Andy, to transfer his soul so he won't be stuck in that doll forever. It's pretty much the only story they use here. It doesn't improve upon the original. I mean, in many ways, this movie is very decent, but at the same time, it's very basic. Unless you really care for the adult characters in this film, you don't care too much about the story. But for a sequel, it gets the job done in more than one ways. Not as scary as the original, but it is definitely one of the films in the franchise which, although it's not better than the first film, it is at least interesting from start to finish. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm giving this movie a 7. Like I said, it's pretty decent. Other than that, it's not too much going for it. At least it's not atrocious like the future films were. One thing I have to say is that the child that played Andy in this film did a great job, just like he did in the first film. He convincingly shows off a level of being scared in this film. And for a lot of child actors back then, that had to be pretty hard to do. Other than that, this film doesn't offer a whole lot of new things here. You won't care about the other characters in this film. This story is simple, basic. It doesn't do a whole lot. It doesn't improve upon anything. But for a sequel, it gets the job done very decently, I have to say. Other than that, there's not a whole lot this film has to offer at the end of the day. And that's my review of Child's Play 2. Alright, leave your comments section below. Let me know what you thought about this film. How do you compare this film to the original? Did you like this movie better than the first film? Or did you thought it was lacking a lot of areas? You know, this film here doesn't stand the test of time. It's not a cult classic, as I would say, simply because what the first film was all about, Kill a Doll. And the story just takes a downhill tumble, if you ask me. Other than that, this film is better than a lot of sequels that will come out after this film. And that's why I get into my review of Child's Play 3 coming up next. And I have to say, that movie is very bad. And I believe it was the start of a downward trend for these Chucky films. Okay, this is Slim Guy 172 saying, peace out.